Hey, how's it going? If you're new here, my name is Jan and I love makeup. And if you're not new, thanks for coming back. I really appreciate you. I am super excited about today's video. I've had this palette for a little while now and I just haven't had a chance to film with it. Unfortunately, it isn't available and I considered not even doing a video, but then I thought, well, what if you did get it and maybe you want to see something from me about it? So I'm filming it. I don't know if it'll get many views. I also wondered if I should film a multiple looks video with this, which I usually do with new palettes, but again, it's not available, so I'm not sure. Let me know in the comment section if it's something I should do with this palette or if I should just use it whenever, however. Okay, the palette I'm talking about is, I probably put it in the title anyway, it's the Oden's Eye Merry Christmas palette. They released this one and the Christmas Eve palette, which I definitely really wanted to pick up. But you know, you can't always get what you want. And I had to make a choice because, you know, money's money and you can't always buy all the things that your heart desires. So I went with the Merry Christmas palette simply because this palette just called to me. And the other one I thought maybe I could not dupe, but get similar-ish looks with another palette in my collection. So this is what the inside of the Merry Christmas palette looks like. I just think it's beautiful. I swatched it. I'll insert those swatches here. Boy howdy, hold on to your hat. So I'm really excited to play with this. If you want to see my thoughts about not duping it, but possibly achieving similar looks with other palettes, stay tuned till the end and I'll just share what I think might be another option. I am pretty disappointed that this sold out so quickly, and they did a pre-order and that sold out super fast, so it's kind of a bummer. Anyway, the palette came with this little keychain, which I just think is so stinking cute. It's just little acrylic and it's like a snow globe. It's got little doobies inside, a snowman, a gingerbread man, a snowflake, a little like Oden's eye ornament, and a little Christmas tree. It's soup's cute and I really like it. And it came with this little insert and it says, "Dear friends, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. We truly hope that our holiday limited products can bring you a different experience during the Christmas holidays, that you can use the Christmas eyeshadow palettes to create wonderfully dreamy winter makeup looks when you are ready to celebrate the Christmas season. Best wishes from Oden's Eye." And I am 100% convinced that this is not just a Christmas palette. Sure, the outside is Christmassy and the inside, I mean the colors are Christmas, but they're also spring and summer and fall. So this is certainly one I'll be using year round. But like I said, if you couldn't get this, stick around to the end and I'll share my thoughts on other palettes. Okay, so now I'm done yammering. I'm going to prime my eyes and zoom you in and we'll get this party started. All right, we are all zoomed in and my eyes are primed. I used my MAC paint pot today. I broke it out a little while back for, I'm not sure why, and I've been liking it again, so that's what I used. I have to use this shimmery orange shade. When I swatched it, it is just absolutely beautiful. And that's called All Night. So I'm gonna start with the orange shade and I'm gonna use just this kind of flat shader brush. I'm gonna try using my synthetic brushes today, mostly because I'm tired of the soap and water washing routine and I can wash synthetic brushes with the Cinema Secrets brush cleaner. So here we go, into All Night. And that's gonna go on the center of my lid. That's dry. Oh my gosh, that is so So pretty. It's palettes like this that make me wish I had more eyes to apply eyeshadow on, because there's so many shades I want to use. I consider doing a two-tone, like 2 different looks, one on my right eye, one on my left eye. And I still might, because some of those green shades I really think deserve a moment too. And what if nobody wants to see any more looks from this palette? I feel like we'd be missing out. I'll do this eye first and see how I feel, but this orange shade is gorgeous. You could throw that on and it could be a one and done, no problem. Now with a slightly larger shader brush, these happen to be my IT Cosmetics brushes, and this just says Airbrush Precision Shadow. And I'm gonna go into the poinsettia shade right here on the outer-ish part of my lid and up into my crease. I really like how orange and red look together, so I thought this might be fun. Not for nothing, that's all but blended already. Wow. Okay, that was wicked easy. I'm just gonna clean that same brush off on my little towel and use the shade Hot Cocoa on the very outer portion of my lid. This is more of a kind of brown red, like a brick-ish. So that's gonna give us some nice depth. Wow. I'm just gently brushing whatever's left on the brush over the orangey shimmer shade. Man, oh man. This is remarkably easy, which is almost disappointing that there's just no work involved. I'm gonna go back into the poinsettia shade just a tiny bit and drag it out a little farther and up. That's so pretty. Okay, let's do something on the inner portion. I think I want to use Little Star on the inner portion of my lid. And I'm going to take this Luxie flat shader brush. Again, we're going to try this dry. See what it does. My face isn't done, obviously, so it doesn't matter if I get any fallout. It doesn't appear as though I've gotten any so far. That's really pretty. It kind of is more of a topper-ish shade. So I think I'm gonna wet my brush and just see if we can get a little bit more opacity. It's really, really pretty. And now I'm gonna go back in with the orange called All Night and just blend over, what did I call that? Little Star. I really, really like that orange shade so much. I dusted off my brush and I think I want to dip into gingerbread just a tiny bit for the inner portion of my crease slash transition. I mean, just a teeny tiny bit. I just patted in one little dip. And there we have it. That is so pretty. I really want to do a green look. All right, I'm just going to take this brush and whatever is left of that gingerbread shade and just blow this out a little bit more. Okay, I decided. My daughter just stopped by for a minute and I asked her thoughts on doing one red, one green, and she said go for it. So I am. It's not typically something I enjoy, but I'm hoping they'll be similar enough that it'll work. I don't know. If it's terrible, it's terrible. It's just makeup. Let's have fun. So I am going to go into the shade the Hexagon. I'm gonna go into the shade Elf Wish right here, which as you can sort of see is a duochrome. And then I'm gonna use this darker green shade called New Year on the middle of my lid. And then I'll go in with the dark green to blend out the outer corner and crease transition area. So here we go. I'm gonna start with that, nope. I'm gonna use that same flat shader brush that I used on the inner portion of this eye and the Elf Wish shade. I'm obviously excited about putting these on. Oh my goodness. You can't even see that, I just know it. Look at it on the brush. That's just that one shade. Wow. I'm gonna wet the brush a little bit. Again, just to see if we can get a bit more opacity. It's freaking gorgeous. That's so cool. In the swatch on the video, I don't know if you could tell or, even noticed, but in different light, it just looks so different. I took pictures like in the bathroom lighting and like the hall lighting. I'll insert the photos here in case you want to see it. It just looked so cool. Okay. Now on a flat, fluffier shader brush, I'm gonna go into New Year, which is that darker green. And that is gonna go here. So same color setup as the other eye, just different colors. And if this is your first video here, I haven't mentioned yet, but my eyes are hooded, so I take all of my shimmer shades up into my crease because they are going to end up there anyway, and it just looks better if I do it intentionally. I don't know if the camera is picking it up, but IRL, that looks amazing. All right, now we're gonna go into Christmas Tree on the outer. That's a really, really pretty matte green with dark foresty green. I'm gonna clean that off on my little towel and we're gonna go into New Leaf, which is this one right here. I'm tempted to use a bit of this one as well, maybe on the inner portion like we did with gingerbread. That could maybe work. All right, New Leaf to blend out that darker gray. No, green. Jeez. Pay attention. Boy, howdy. I'm just gonna make things up as I go. I'm gonna go back into the dark green called Christmas Tree. Is that what I called it before? Did I call it anything? It's called Christmas Tree. Oh yeah, love, love, loving that. All right, cleaned off the brush again. Now let's go into that brighter green called Best Wishes for this area. Like the gingerbread shade. Oh, there we go. It's a bit more subtle, but adds just enough of something that it kind of works nicely. So I just wiped off my brush a little bit and I'm going to blend this out. I'm going to finish blending this bit a little and I'm going to do liner, lashes, a full face, and then I'll come back and we'll do the under eye together and see how this look comes together. Together. Really? There's gotta be a better way to say that. but I can't think of it right now. So there we have it. I'm back, my face is on, and everything is finished except for my under eyes. So I lined this waterline with orange and this one with green. So I thought I would put green on the bottom of this one and the red and orange shades on the bottom of this one, just to kind of tie them together. So I'm going to go in with Christmas Tree, which was that dark matte green. And I'm going to blend that on the outer portion of this lash line. Like that. We're going to go shimmer shades for the rest of the under eye. So I'm going to go with that Elf Wish shade on the inner. So pretty. And New Year for the center. Just blend them together. For the green eye, we're gonna go into Hot Cocoa, which was that dark maroon shade. And I'm gonna put that on the outer portion of this eye. I'm gonna wet that brush. And we're gonna go into All Night, which was that bright orange. And then into Little Star for the inner. And then to highlight my inner corner, we're going to use the Oden's Eye Solomon Highlighter Palette. This came in a mystery box I ordered from Oden's Eye. I'm going to take the brightest shade on the bottom right and put that on both eyes. Seems like a kind of iridescent-y. Yeah. Okay, now I'm going to go off camera, fix my hair, zoom you out, and I'll come back and we can talk about this palette and my thoughts around other palettes that maybe can be used if you weren't able to get this one. It's snowing. Just a couple tiny little flakies. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, that's the eye look done and dusted. Let's zoom in for a close look. I don't normally do two different eye looks, but I really just wanted to play with these eyeshadows. I think that they are so incredibly gorgeous. Every shade that I used was phenomenal. Blended beautifully. Those shimmer shades, boy howdy, they are beautiful. They are the kind that like reach out and slap you right in the face. Like there's no subtlety there. And I like it. I think it's fantastic. Now, if you weren't able to pick up this palette, I do have two here that are just absolutely fantastic. I really, really like both of these so much. The first one is the Hela palette with Angelica Nyquist, perhaps? I just call her Angie in my head. And this is the color story. She did this palette with Oden's Eye months ago. And it's still on the website, which is really hard to believe. So if you missed out on the Merry Christmas palette and the Christmas Eve palette, the color story is not the same. I mean, the greens are very, very nice. There isn't a dark shimmer, but there's this dark matte, which you could layer this one over and get a darker shimmery. These shades are phenomenal. If you don't have this, I would highly recommend, if you even a little bit like the color story, to get it, because once it's gone, it's gone. It's not coming back. And then the other one is the Solomon 2 palette. This one was released after Angie's, I think in the spring or summer, and that's the color story for this one. I love this one. I had such a good time playing with this palette. I will try to link my videos using this one and Angie's below in case you want to take a reconnoiter. But this one has some of this is more of a purpley burgundy as opposed to the red, but it has this really nice orange It has this pretty gold, like you're not going to get the same looks, but they are similar-ish. This one is a duochrome. So pretty. I love both of these palettes a lot. Like I mentioned earlier, I didn't pick up the Christmas Eve palette. It wasn't in the budget and I couldn't do it. So I consciously made the choice to save my pennies and not get it, in hopes that I could find something similar-ish in my collection. I don't have dupes for it, which is kind of a bummer because it would be nice to have. But I do think with these two palettes I'm going to show you, I can get something similar to the Christmas Eve palette. That's what it looks like. I will put up a picture of it here so we can compare it. This is the Nomad Cosmetics Whistler Snow Lodge palette, and it's got the blues. The greens seem a bit more minty, but you could get similar-ish. And then the other one I thought of is the Nomad Iceland Fire and Ice palette. This has the orange, the blue, the greens. You know, it's not, again, it's not a dupe, it's not the same, but maybe I could get the same kind of looks with these two palettes. So you can't buy everything. Like, that's just not feasible. And, you know, financially, I would love to be able to. It's not an option for me. So I have to figure it out where I can. And that's the best I could do. So let me know what you think down below of the eye looks. I really like them. Not necessarily together, but I'm not mad at how they look together. Did you get the palettes? Did you get one and not the other? I'm super interested in what you think and what you have to say about this video and the palettes that I used and talked about. All right, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I super appreciate you being here. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Either way, I appreciate you. Be good and remember to be kind to you.